I hope you're doing great. Just kind of getting started. I don't know how I look. Let me check on how I look on the Facebook. And see how many of you are joined already. I'm having some problem lately with the Facebook. I don't know. Maybe I post too much on the Facebook. So uh, if you hear me, give me a thumbs up. It's let me just use this one. I should be live here as well, isn't it? Thought I did a cross post. So I don't know here. Okay. Where can I see me? Oh, I see me here. So let me just post it here. I am live. Okay. So if you have any question, go ahead and post it. Post it here on the Facebook. Let me see why finished. I hope you're doing good. Let me microphone a little bit. Start my recording here. As it goes, every Thursday I'm trying to be consistent. Try to record my podcast at the same time I record all this live video, YouTube, Facebook live. So if I'm looking weird and I can hear it good. Okay. If I look kind of weird, and looking everywhere, just so you know, that's I'm trying to do this thing. I have two camera rolling, so hopefully you can hear me well. Friends and families on YouTube or Facebook. Let's just start today. Let me go to YouTube as well before I start. I did start the recording. I did posted. I did post my recording that I did last week to SoundCloud. That's where all my podcast goes, and it sounded. I cleaned up, so it sounded good. So I'm happy for that. So anyway, today we're gonna pop the top. So let me just restart my recording for podcast, and we'll discuss first. We'll do some housework and some housekeeping, and then we'll discuss some of this live stuff. So let me stop here. Here, here. Okay. So let's just stop. Today I'm gonna start. Last couple of weeks I haven't done any beer. So I'm gonna go ahead and start popping the top. Victory Golden Monkey Belgium style triple L 9.5 alcohol beer. So we got it from the Publix. Nothing really fancy. Um, and I don't want to tell the story how I end up with this beer, but and publicly. But if you see me this weekend or sometime, and you heard this podcast, just ask me how did I end up with this, and a pretty interesting story, funny story, but I cannot tell you in public like this. So, but definitely, so this will be good. Let's just pop the top. I'm a mostly beer drinker. I'm not this really. I've tried this the second one I tried, and it's just not my kind of beer. But I wish I'd gotten IPA. I think they also have IPA. When I went to Publix, they didn't have it. So definitely, I will try a different type of beer. So that way maybe I can go to one of the some of those beer places and just do some event from there. But definitely, let's kind of start today's podcast. Thanks for joining. Before I start, I just want to say thanks. So let's just kind of start. Getting kind of late as well. I need to be done by 9. So let me just kind of pull together. I'll go silent for a few seconds, and I start recording the podcast. Um, I would like to welcome to you. I would like I would like to welcome you to Imran's podcast. I hope you're doing great today. Today's been another Thursday. We are doing the Thirsty Thursday, and my tongue is rolling a little bit. We are drinking Golden Monkey beer. So whatever beer you drink, cheers. If you drink just the water, I do have the water here. Cheers for that as well. I hope this been a good month for you. This month of May is passing so quickly. I cannot believe it's going so fast. Almost it's a Memorial Day weekend. I cannot believe it's coming to that weekend already. We have a race here in town. If you listen to this after the Memorial Day weekend race, just know that there's a lot of races this weekend. A lot of local races, but we do have in Oak Mountain. We have trail race that I always enjoy. It's official, unofficial start of summer for some of us, because for me the school is out. Today is a graduation. I don't have a kid graduating this year, but graduation is it started. So basically, summer started unofficially, officially for us here in the South, and it's going to go rapidly fast as well. So definitely bring time to put some training. I've been doing a lot of training miles, adding here and there, training miles, hills. I'm not going as fast as I would like, and we talked about that in a previous podcast about summer trainings. But definitely I have logged more miles last few weeks than in a very long time. So that's just part of the summer running, summer training. So I definitely have a 15% discount for Seven Bridges Marathon. Definitely go to mruns.com and get you 15% discount for Seven Bridges. And if you are looking for pacing, definitely contact Marathon Runs. I'm looking for some good pacer out there to pace a different, especially for a marathon. I do have most of the half marathon now, but I need to. I'm looking for a full marathon pacer. It's kind of wide open for a full marathon. So if you're new to pacing, just let me know and we can talk about it in previous podcast. I will train you. I'll make you a good pacer like me, and teach you how to be a pacer. So it's good to be. So that kind of leads to today's podcast. The topic. Like I said, if you have any question, definitely post it here. If you're watching and me in YouTube. So definitely post your questions. I'll if you're watching on Facebook, post it here. I can right now. If not, I'll do it after the live. So today's topic, I want to talk about how I made running as my brand. This whole Emruns and the brand and everything, the concept came as my class pass. I was doing a master's program and I needed a topic, and one of the topics was running brand. And I was very new to running. There's nothing I was doing that back then. I was very new, fairly new. I've done a few marathon here and there, one or two or three, not more than that. But I said, okay, I'm going to make a personal brand. So even back then, we were talking about 2009. I was trying to do some crazy stuff. I did one marathon next season or so. I did 6 marathons in 6 months, not 6 consecutive months, but kind of 6 months, including I did in that year. I did Toronto Marathon, which I have not gone back to do it again, and New York City Marathon, which I haven't gone back to do it again. So I did those races. So it was a pretty interesting concept for me back when I would just start running and try to do. So talk about that. So building the brand. Recently, I talk about how I ran with so many people, and the company that I'm working right now. People I worked with and I ran with, and how I know them. A friend of mine wanted me to introduce some very, very coworker of mine, very new to the company. He said, "Hey, can you introduce so and so folks?" And I said, "Sure, I'll take you." So he didn't know, how much people knew of me, he knew me, but he didn't know what context everybody knew. So I went and I introduced him so many different people from, so he was very impressed. I said, you know, I built this brand as a running brand. Everybody knows me here as a runner. They don't know what I do. It's a good or bad thing. I guess it maybe hurts me when I'm trying to get promoted, but as a personal brand, I am known to be a running brand. So I kind of build that brand slowly and over the years. You listen to me here in Marathon Runs. That's kind of another, that's the same thing it built from me being in a Marathon Runs. A lot of people really don't know who is a Marathon Run behind all this posting, all these things doing over the years. I've tried to introduce to myself, but it's still sometimes some of you don't know who this person behind this camera or behind this interviews, who talks about it. But again, people know me, and like with a personal brand. I met a lot of you on the trail, on whenever I am in an event, especially ultra events. People say, "Hey, I know you. I've seen a lot of your videos." Suddenly in the middle of the trail, and you're just a random person started coming telling you. I was like, and you're not random, but again, for me it feels random because then I realized, hey, I built that brand. I build that personal brand to introduce to you, so that people will recognize me easily. It's not that because I did that, but it's just one of those things as a personal brand, or as you build that brand. You'll be known. So back to what we're talking about is what is your brand? What is your brand? How do you recognize your brand? Whenever we think about a brand, Apple, iPhone, we're talking Coca-Cola, maybe Victory, this, I don't know this brand, but everything. I mean, I look around, there's all kind of brands, but as a person, how do you build a personal brand? So that's kind of where my journey began in that classroom, and I kind of continue taking it. So where I did it, I ran so many races, so I did some crazy stuff, so that people will recognize you, saying, hey, he's different. He's doing something different. So that's what I wanted the brand as a runner, as a brand, as a runner. That's how I built. So doing a lot of races, doing above and beyond on the racing community, being out there, and I still, after 16 years, I'm producing stuff. I'm still talking about running. I'm passionate about running. So that's kind of where the brand is. That as you build your personal brand, so try to choose what really you want you to be recognized at. The friend that I'm talking to, he's very passionate about ice cream, and he will talk about ice cream all day long. And he said that he has been to all the continents, 5 continents, and eating ice cream. It's like, so if you want to build a brand like that, that's great. Then you will build yourself, and people recognize, people ask you questions, people will come to you, and it takes time, and it takes the amount of energy you got to put it in, but it's doable as a personal brand. There's a big name people, Kardashians, that's a brand itself. I haven't been able to like a Kardashian, but in my own little, an own little world, I've been able to build what I'm able to build from whatever I do. So definitely it's doable. So but that, when you try to build that brand, like I said, what do you want others to know you as? Do you want them to know you as in a certain way? Like, do you want them to know as a beer drinker, maybe, who is expert in beer, IPA, or you may be expert in a cooking burger, maybe that's all you want to talk about, or that's your passion, and that kind of where you want to make your brand too. So it's easier to take that, make that as your brand, and so kind of think what do you want to brand. So a good thing about making those brands is people will recognize you and associate you with that brand. So for me, in a company that I work I usually say from the CEO to the janitor in my company, they know I run. I run on a lot. Some people think that I run all the time, which is not true. But definitely people know me in places, and know me as that brand. But the bad thing is being that brand. That's the only way, only thing people know about. Like I said earlier, it may help me to get recognized in a places, and to make that connection for people, maybe a good starter. If you don't take that brand further, and make your, if you want to get promoted, doing something really what you day in day out, or your work you do, it may not help you, but you definitely. I haven't been able to take my running brand and promote myself to further a different brand. So that's kind of stuck with me now. And they know that I run, and everybody knows I run. So just kind of gets stuck with you. And so just be careful how you build your brand. That's kind of where I'm going with. Nothing wrong with the brand that you want to build of yourself, but it comes with that thing that people recognize you with that brand. But again, if you have brand like what I'm building as a running brand, and that'll help you further your cause that you want to do part of being in that running community. You want to get recognized. You end up going to a lot of races. Even in races people recognize, so on. So there's good on that good side, but again, but people recognize you just as a runner. That's, I think that's what happens a lot of time. Some of the even my family, my friends, they think that's the only thing I do, and that's sometimes people think that's just my full-time job, which is which is sounds like it. That's how people see it, and that's kind of what I show everybody. But really, that's not the only thing I do in life. The running is just takes probably 10% of my life. The rest of the time I'm doing a lot of other things, but definitely I build that brand and try to kind of continue building it, you know, trying to do things. And it's really what it helps me is the thing that I do is very hectic, and in the day, and in my day job is very hectic. But when it comes to running, it kind of gets me off thinking about my work, and it kind of the whatever I do for running. I'm kind of thinking away from work, and not what do you call, not all I have to, I'm not always thinking about my work. It helps me to kind of put myself in a different position. I think my camera moved here. Let me see. My Facebook camera. This is come on now. Oh, this camera. I'm trying to. I'll do a better job. So hopefully. So anyway, so try to work through your brand. Find your niche again. That's another different thing of the brand. You find your niche. If you're just in a bowling, you're in a bowling niche, and then try to find your friends, your brand, and you kind of continue working on that towards it. Talk about it, build it, and build a community around it, friends around it. It's very wonderful thing to do. So that's, I really like what I have done. It took me a while to build this brand, but definitely little by little, I'm doing it. I'm out here always talking, and passionate about talking about my brand as a runner. I have not able to build another brand, even though I was trying to move away from only a recognized runner, do something else. But now I'm just part of this thing, so I'm not able to rebuild another brand. But if I have to, I will do it. But I don't know what you. But overall, I was gonna say, I don't know what you're drinking. Just if you're drinking something, put a put a picture out there. But definitely, running is great. Try to build that brand is great for me. It has been great. It's been really good thing in my life. Had changed a lot of things in my life. So definitely looking forward from you seeing what kind of brand you're building, or if you're doing anything. If you need to build your brand, please let me know. It's kind of off the topic for me. Talk about a little bit different, but definitely it is related to what I do day in and day out. Um, as my personal brand, as a runner, as a podcaster, as a photographer. Overall, I'm very consumed with running related stuff. So definitely build your brand, go out there and see, explore what can you do. You could be have a I would like to have a brand of traveling around the world all the time. So that's what I'm doing: running, traveling. Trying to combine those two. But again, the running comes first. You see, I don't just travel for traveling, which I'm about to do that, but mostly I travel for running. So that's those are the things I do. So so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about as a topic. I'm gonna stop this podcast, and then I'll just generally just talk to you. Thanks for those in the podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being out there. Please like and subscribe to Marathon Runs anywhere and everywhere you find. And hope to talk to you. Go listen to previous podcasts that I put out there. Let me stop. Anyway, I stopped. Let's kind of talk a little bit just generally. Let me see if anybody came and listened to me. I put all this time, and if you don't show up, then it's hard for me to continue doing this. But I know it's a Thursday night. It's a busy night, especially it's been a graduation night here locally. A lot of you are out there. Um, um, Jenna asked me how long I've been running. I've been running uh, for 16 years. My child, the younger child, is going to turn 16, and I was started running when she was little like 3 months. She was born in September, and I started running in October. So I usually tell her that I've been running to get away from you. If you know me personally, that's that child of mine is hard of my heartbeat with her. But I always tell her, but I'd never get away running away for definitely 16 years. I used to think when I was start running, people were asking me, I met people who were been running like me 16, 18. I was like, how that's a long time. How long? And another, how long have you been running? This is can I run that long? Will I be still alive? And here I am, 16 years later. I'm still here talking to you. Um, so the other one is other one really funny one is that when I first started running, my mentor, he had been running for a long time. I don't remember how long, but he ran 18 marathons, and he kind of helped me to understand the marathon, how to train, how to, back then there was, there were resources, but not as much. So he already ran 18, and then I ran with him Chicago 10-10-10. That was his 19th. And that my Chicago's, I don't remember, 9-10, whatever. I was very, or not 9-10, probably 4-5. Anyway, years and years later, not later for me, he still has 19. So I was like, he used to say, finally, the student passes the teacher. So definitely that was kind of pretty interesting for me, because he 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 still hasn't run any marathon since we ran Chicago 13 years ago. I said, we need to come and go and run a marathon. Like he said, man, I'm so busy now in life. And that's one person I met. That's the one, and that's another person in life. Usually nowadays, I say, my line is sometimes, if I ever get qualified for Boston, which I haven't been qualified for a very long time, and I'm working hard, 2026, I think. 2026, I think. Yeah, 2026 or 2025. Anyway, one of those years. I'm gonna in a 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I'm gonna be back in Boston. That's what I'm trying to talk about. So what happens here is, Boston qualifying is hard, difficult, takes a lot of dedication. I'm out of save for Boston at this moment, but um, my training is not level of training is not there. My speed is not there. Anyway, because I run so much, I guess that's the other problem I have. But anyway, so the point here, what I'm trying to make is that that person that I met, he used to he always said to me back when I first met him. He said, is assuming when I was young and I was fast. I was qualified. I used to qualify for Boston all the time, but I didn't have a time or money to get to Boston because he was young. He could said then he said now in my age now I I can afford to go to Boston, and I can but and I have time to go to Boston, but I'm not that fast. I cannot qualify no longer. So as a Boston, and I can go as a charity, which is fine. A lot of you do that, but I wanted to next Boston I run. I would like to qualify. Some years I first qualify, get in, and then get with the charity and run for charity. So I've done that in my last Boston. But what I'm trying to tell you is if you ever qualify for Boston, and if you have time and money, and go to Boston, and that's what I do. So I'm trying to get to go to Boston, and as I've done too, as you can see my medals, but it's important, but not that it's important, but definitely getting the Boston level qualification, the speed is really it brings a lot of good thing. It's not always have to be, but it's good. So I hope I'm just talking off now. Um, so so those are the things. I know this is Thursday. It's almost 9 o'clock. I gotta go. So definitely, it's been good. If you're drinking anything, cheers. If not, drink water. Hydration is always good. I hydrate a lot. So thanks for listening. Crazy training that I'm doing. I would like to bring some guests. I haven't been able to bring any guests. Definitely will bring that. So thanks for listening. I hope it has been good. Good for you to listen and listen to me. So we'll talk more. Cheers. Bye.